Hello, this message is for Nicole Valenzuela. Nicole, I'm Dr. Flint. It's nice to meet you, although I kind of already know you, so I'm about to give you some critique on your video from the week 2 assignment for Communication and Change class, Sustainability 720. So let's dive on in here, shall we? First of all, I liked your camera shot. You were standing, and believe it or not, you were the only person who delivered the speech standing. So nice job. Great eye contact. You were engaging with the camera. One thing I would say, you talk with your hands quite a bit, and so that became a little bit distracting. And it's just a piece of feedback. It won't be distracting for all of your audience, but for some, it can take away from your message. And so kind of watching out for that and using your hand gestures when you have something emphatic that you want to say, rather than having them kind of be in front of you. And you did this a few times too, where I think you were trying to compare and contrast a few things, but this can become noisy as well. And so kind of watching out for those things, especially since the camera can pick up on some smaller noises also. But overall, great job. I'm glancing over my notes here. I would also encourage you to use more specific examples. And so you speak broadly at one point in time in your video about how we can best take care of our planet. That is a great spot to really help those who are in your audience to know what they can do to specifically take care of their planet. Whether they think about developing a compost pile, or even for some using reusable straws or aluminum straws rather than getting a straw every time they go to the restaurant. Providing these very specific and simple examples will help inspire your audience to want to do these things. I also really enjoyed, Nicole, that you complimented your audience up front. You thanked them for their time, and I believe that is a key point. Imagine if you were sitting in the audience and somebody thanked you for your time. You're going to listen to what they have to say next. If that's never acknowledged, some people in the room might completely shut down right away. So I appreciated your gratitude there. One point of advice that I would have is to call out your audience a little bit more. Augustina said that she wasn't quite sure what sustainability was and that she was looking forward to getting to know more. So there are a few things in her statement that I would have acknowledged. One, admitting non-knowledge. That takes a great deal of humility, especially when you know that you are in the presence of someone who is knowledgeable about the topic, to say, I really don't know anything, but I look forward to learning more, is a really cool place for someone to start. And so I would have acknowledged that within her and maybe even empowered her a little bit. Again, the more that you can empower your audience, the more they are going to listen to you. One final piece of advice I would give you, Nicole, is to state your thesis more clearly. It seemed as though education is your premise, that we need to do more to educate folks about what they can do in order to engage in more sustainable practices. That sounded like your premise, but it landed about midway through your video rather than right at the beginning. So after acknowledging and thanking your audience for being with you and for their time, it might be a good idea to start off by outlining what you were going to talk about, and in that moment when you are outlining what you were going to talk about, clearly state your thesis, and then put it again at the end as a summary point. So in general, Nicole, great job overall. As you can see on D2L, you got a 20 out of 20 for this assignment. That's because this was a first go-around, and I hope that you take this feedback and grow on it for the rest of the semester. I look forward to seeing more projects from you as time progresses. Had I been actually grading this according to the rubric in the syllabus, I would have given you a 5 out of 5 for staying within the 5-minute time frame. I would have given you a 6 out of 10 for group dynamics and individual dynamics. I just think that you could have done more there, especially in addressing the group dynamic. You know these folks really well, and you know how they would interact if they were in a room together. So use that to your advantage and call them out individually on how they can interact with each other as well. And then finally, a 2.5 out of 5 for argument development. Again, if that was your premise with education, put that at the beginning so that I'm, as your audience member, am not left guessing towards the middle or the end what it was that you were trying to say from the beginning. Thanks a lot, Nicole, and again, I look forward to seeing more from you in the future in these next few weeks. Bye.